Hey, you're watching this right now. Maybe it's past midnight. Lights off, headphones in.
Maybe you just got off a long shift. Coffee sitting cold on the desk beside you.
Maybe you've been down a rabbit hole for the last hour, reading about special operations units, and you landed here.
Wondering about the one unit that almost nobody talks about.
Not Delta Force, not DEVGRU, not the Rangers, the unit that makes all of them possible.
Doesn't matter where you're watching from, drop a comment. Tell me where you are.
Hit subscribe, turn on the bell, hit like.
Because right now, you are an ISA operator. And your life starts here, in the dark, in the silence. In the city nobody sent you to.
The Intelligence Support Activity, Task Force Orange, Gray Fox, Grantar Shadow, Centra Spike. The names change every few years, deliberately, so that by the time anyone figures out one name, it's already gone.
The unit was created in 1981, born directly from failure.
The Iran hostage rescue mission in 1980 collapsed in the desert, not because the operators weren't good enough. It collapsed because the intelligence was wrong, outdated, incomplete.
Men died because the people making decisions didn't have accurate real-time information about what was waiting for them.
So the military built a unit whose entire purpose was to make sure that never happened again. You are that unit.
You are not the hammer. Delta Force is the hammer. DEVGRU is the hammer. The Rangers are the hammer. You are something different.
You are the reason the hammer lands on exactly the right nail at exactly the right time.
Without you, the shooters are blind, sitting on helicopters with nowhere to go. A target package with no verified intelligence.
You change all of that, weeks before the helicopters ever lift off.
You don't apply for ISA. There is no job posting. There is no recruiter at a career fair. The unit finds you.
They find you because you've already proven yourself somewhere else. Green Berets mostly. Sometimes Rangers, Marine Raiders, signals intelligence specialists from units most people have never heard of. What they're looking for isn't the loudest operator in the room. It's the opposite. They're looking for the one who nobody noticed was there.
The selection process is quiet. So quiet that even Delta Force and DEVGRU operators only hear vague secondhand rumors about it.
Background investigations that go deeper into your life than anything you've experienced before. Psychological evaluations designed to find cracks. No-win scenario testing. Language aptitude. Tradecraft aptitude. Physical fitness matters, but it's not the primary filter. The primary filter is simpler and harder to test.
Can you disappear?
Can you sit in a foreign cafe for 6 hours reading a local newspaper and have nobody look at you twice?
Can you build a relationship with a local businessman over 3 months without him ever suspecting your real purpose? Can you spot the surveillance team that's watching you before they know you've made them?
If yes, they want you.
You are not a soldier, not officially, not to anyone in the world outside a very small circle.
Your cover identity is airtight, built over months by people whose only job is building cover identities. A management consultant, an NGO worker, a journalist, an academic researcher, a private security contractor doing mundane logistics work. The cover matches the environment. If you're in a financial district, you dress like someone who belongs there. If you're in a provincial town near the border, you dress like someone passing through on low-stakes business. You've told the cover story so many times that it no longer feels like a lie, it feels like memory. That's the goal. That's when you know the cover is working. Your family knows a version that's close enough to the truth to be sustainable, but far enough from the reality to keep them safe. You travel for work. You can't always say where.
They've learned not to ask too many questions. You've been in this city for 7 weeks. You know it the way a local knows it. Not the tourist version, not the briefing room version. The real version.
You know which streets flood when it rains. You know which cafe has the best sight lines to the market square. You know which motorcycle courier service the target uses to send documents.
You know the target's schedule better than his own security detail knows it.
Every Tuesday morning, 08:45 hours, he enters the cafe on the east side of the square. Same order, same table if it's available. A different person each week, but the meetings follow a pattern. Every Thursday afternoon, a different location. More careful, more counter-surveillance aware. This is when the sensitive meetings happen.
You've mapped all of it. Weeks of patient observation, sitting in places where nobody gives you a second look because you've made yourself completely forgettable.
You filed hundreds of reports that will never carry your real name, each one building a picture, each one adding detail to the target package.
You are mapping the shape of a man's life, not to understand him, to give the men who come after you everything they need.
The activity has 2 primary branches. Human intelligence, that's you. You go places, you become people, you build relationships. SIGINT, signals intelligence, the technology side. They can track a phone across a continent, intercept encrypted communications, pull conversations from the air.
When your human intel operation identifies the target's communication patterns, you pass it to SIGINT.
They crack the technical side. They start reading his messages before he sends them. Together, the two branches create a picture so complete that when the assault team receives the package, they know things about the target that the target doesn't know about himself. The target is a courier, not a fighter, not a commander. A courier, the man who carries the messages between the people who plan operations and the people who execute them. He knows routes, timing, locations, names. He knows the architecture of a network responsible for the deaths of dozens of American service members over the past 3 years. No photo less than 8 years old exists in any database. He travels constantly, never uses the same phone for more than 10 days, never stays in the same location for more than a week. He's been on the target list for 2 years. 2 years of surveillance, signals collection, and dead ends. You've been in country for 7 weeks. You found him in 4. Not because you were brilliant, because you were patient, because you sat in enough cafes, walked enough streets, built enough source relationships to eventually find the thread.
The man who fixes his car, the woman who sells vegetables near his safe house, the contact who moves money through a specific exchange house on specific days.
Thread by thread until the picture emerged. You reported his location, verified it over 11 days of continued observation, confirmed his pattern, mapped his security, counted his guards, timed his routines to the minute.
Then you transmitted the package.
You were out of the country before the assault team was briefed, on a flight with a different passport before the operation was approved, already in the next city before the helicopters lifted off.
You don't know what happened. You'll never be officially told. But 3 weeks later, you see a brief, vague news item. 12 arrests across 4 countries, a significant financial operation dismantled.
You know what that means. You move on.
The stress is different from what the assault operators carry. They carry the weight of violence. You carry something quieter, and in some ways harder to put down. You carry the weight of sustained deception, of living inside a false identity for months at a time until the false identity starts to feel more real than your actual name.
You carry the weight of relationships built under false pretenses. The local businessman who became a source, who trusted you, who gave you information that eventually led to an operation that changed his country's security landscape in ways he'll never know you were part of.
You wonder sometimes what happened to him after you left, whether the cover held, whether he was ever questioned. You carry the weight of constant vigilance. You never fully turn it off. Back home in the United States, at a grocery store, at your kids' school play, at a dinner party with people who have ordinary jobs and ordinary lives, a part of you is always running the same assessment. Who's in this room? Where are the exits? That man came in after me and sat where he can watch the door.
Sleep is never fully deep. You always wake at small sounds. You always know which direction the windows face.
Your marriage is under a permanent low-grade pressure that has no name and no easy fix. Your spouse knows there's a version of you that stays out of reach no matter how close the physical distance. They've made peace with it, some days better than others.
Your children know you travel. They've stopped asking exactly where.
ISA is not about body count. It's not about door breaching and direct action and the kind of violence that makes its way into documentaries.
It's about the attack that never happened because the network was dismantled before it could execute. It's about the hostage who came home because the assault team had verified intelligence about which room they were held in.
It's about the convoy that didn't drive into an ambush because the pattern of life surveillance identified the threat before it materialized.
You are the intelligence that makes the impossible possible. You are the weeks of patience that compress into seconds of precision.
You are the reason the hammer lands exactly where it needs to land.
Nobody will write your name in the history books. Nobody will make a movie about your operations.
The Congressional Intelligence Committees that oversee your unit hold classified sessions with no transcripts. Your budget is a line item in someone else's account. Your unit's name changes before anyone can track it.
You are Task Force Orange. You are Gray Fox. You are the intelligence support activity. You are never here.
If this file reached somewhere inside you, smash that like button right now. Subscribe. Turn on notifications. This series is just getting started.
Drop a comment. Tell me where you're watching from. Which unit is next? Delta Force? Rangers? Green Berets? Night Stalkers? The vote is yours.
See you next time.